What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out the 2025 Nissan Rogue. This one is a Platinum all-wheel drive, finished off in deep ocean blue. MSRP is $48,300. This is basically top of the line. So comment below, you think the Rogue is the way to go if you're looking for more of a mid-size, smaller crossover. This one definitely has a lot of options, as you'll see in today's video. So underneath the hood on the Rogue, this one has kind of a small engine actually. This is a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, 1.5 liter, 201 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. Has an Xtronic CVT with the all-wheel drive system. And then with that, you're looking at curb weight at 3,700 pounds, 14.5 gallon fuel tank, and then 28 miles per gallon in the city with 34 out on the highway. For the headlights, you're gonna have a pretty neat style with the daytime running lights up above. Actual headlight is all down here. There is a functional aero spot right here for air to pass through the bumper. Got all of your parking sensors, safety sensor, forward facing camera, a little bit of chrome trim throughout the upper grille with some gloss accents. And I like how all the lower trim is actually finished in the gloss black. So you don't really get any of the cheap plastic on this. Got some nice painted areas. It's a cool front end. It definitely has Nissan's newest design language to it. You have some smooth body lines and some sharp lines throughout the hood, fading into the windshield. And then around the side, you're gonna see that gloss black lower area fade into these fender arches. So it has a nice premium feel to it. Two-tone set of 19-inch wheels. I really like the multi-spoke look as well. And then we have all that gloss trim in the lower portion with chrome accents. We have body color on the mirrors with a camera and turn signal, body color door handles, and then some chrome trim throughout the windows with gloss black accents. Up above, we're gonna get silver roof rails, a panoramic sunroof with your dual shark fin antenna. And then at the side profile, it's got a pretty nice proportional look to it. Nice lines overall. It's not too small, not too big. Around the rear fenders, you're gonna get some sharp body lines that bulge outwards just a little bit, and then some gloss black trim throughout the rear glass. Got an integrated spoiler up on top with your third brake light, red along the housings for the taillights. And then down low, we have our reflectors, gloss black color, and some chrome trim. Got more of your parking sensors, all of your logos, and then some sharp lines throughout that liftgate. So nice style overall. Hasn't changed much in the last few years, but I think it still is a modern looking SUV. Got our button right here we can pop, and the power liftgate is gonna go ahead and open up. Now for the cargo space with everything down, you have quite a lot of space in here, as you can tell. Nice and flat with everything. We have a little cutout over here as well as right here. And this floor is pretty unique. There's actually two panels we can lift upwards, and you can get into extra storage. You can also just pull them completely off, and you can see all of that. So pretty nice design overall. If you wanna get a better load area, you can take these completely out and maximize the space. So pretty cool to see all that. There is gonna be these grab handles on the left and right side to automatically lower those seats. So really easy, you can pop those. Then we're gonna get the button up there and take a look at the interior. Like I said, these fold nice and flat, lifting them up. They are not too difficult. Now these seats do recline. There's actually two levels basically. So that is the two levels, as you can tell. It's about an inch difference, but nonetheless nice to see. Got our armrests and cup holders, and I really love the leather interior for this with the quilted pattern. And then in back, we're gonna get our climate vents. You have temperature control, heated seats and plugs, and then storage behind those front seats. Door panel's gonna be finished off with that cool two-tone look, and then there's even manual sunshades. Now 5'11" hopping into the back. This is actually a pretty roomy crossover. I have good legroom, good footroom, overall good view around, and the recline's pretty good in the second stage. Now the seat base, I would say, is a little on the flat side, so full-grown adults, taller people, you know, it's all right. But for kids, car seats, things like that, can't complain. But overall, in a pinch though, you know, friends and family that are gonna be back here, honestly, it's roomy enough to get the job done, so really no complaints for the back seats. And then taking a look at the door handle, we can lock and unlock it from that button. And then along the front door panel, you're gonna get the nice soft touch all around. You have memory seating, all of those controls, and then the name Rogue is written out on the aluminum door sill. We have your power controls, and then back to the nice semi-aniline leather. Looks really nice and premium with the perforations, and then a little bit of black trim throughout it. Hopping inside, foot on the brake, let's fire it up. So we have the nice black leather steering wheel, somewhat of a flat bottom design with the gray accents. We have cruise control settings on the right, volume over on the left side, and there's even a set of paddle shifters for that CVT. We have the stock on the right side for the windshield wipers, headlights and turn signals on the left, and then for the gauge cluster in the center, you can scroll left and right and see all sorts of different items. You can configure the screen quite a lot. You have a nav that'll pop up as well. And then we can toggle this icon and actually change the whole view to a bigger screen. So that is a pretty cool touch. We have our steering control, we have the heads-up display, and then down below interior dimming with auto start stop. Got more of the contrast, the heads-up unit, and then some soft touch plastic up above. We can see the brown color throughout the dashboard, and then on the center, we have this nice updated screen. So I think Nissan did a good job adding this to the Rogue. It really makes this interior feel a lot newer. We have all your shortcuts on the left for the home, the nav, audio control. You can see the phone integration. There's Google integration as well. We have your Android Auto, Play Store, things like that. So all sorts of these tiles are going to pop up, making it really easy. There's shortcuts down below. We can get a nice quick one into the camera and view this 360 system. So we can configure all of this, see what we have going on. Really nice view, even with a 360 setup. Of course, when you put it into reverse, the camera system will pop up automatically. Underneath that, we have your air vents along with different climate controls. We have the temperature control, your zones, fan speed right in the middle, dual zone temperature, heated seats and steering wheel. And then we can see just the gloss trim with some silver accents. There's plugs down below with wireless charging, more storage throughout the center, and then we have our drive mode rotary dial. We can configure this into the on-road as well as off-road modes, which is great for an all-wheel drive vehicle. Park and brake, and then there's storage all hidden underneath. And I like all the brown accents throughout the center. Opening that up, we have the two little doors that pop open. Ton of space in there. And then a large glove box. There's also this cool wood trim, which has a good, nice touch to it as well. One last look at the interior. I love the two-tone, all the brown accents. Massive panel roof with all of your controls. Then we have the nice sunglass holder with a thin mirror. All right, guys, so setting off now in the 2025 Nissan Rogue. Got the lane change assist. Car is basically gonna do that for me by just me tapping that turn signal. So pretty nice, the Pro Pilot Assist seems to work pretty well. I've checked it out in some of the newer Nissans and Infinitis. I feel like it's improved nicely. I love how you can actually see the cars around, so it actually does a pretty good job. Overall visibility in this crossover, you have a lot of glass. Rear view mirror, there's some headrests in the way, so that's the only thing that's a little tight seeing around, but nonetheless, really not bad. Panoramic roof, when we open it up, definitely allows some nice light into the interior. So on the highway going 70, you can hear a little bit of wind noise and road noise. It's not bad, but you can definitely hear it a little bit. Overall though, the ride quality is pretty comfortable. Suspension's absorbing bumps very well, and these seats are really comfortable too. So I'm liking the overall just driving in the Rogue. This would be a pretty good road trip vehicle, things like that, especially being pretty economical for MPG. But a good seating position with a lot of different adjustments. So not bad at all for a road trip vehicle. Armrests are comfortable as well. I like all these soft touches that you're gonna get in this Nissan Rogue. So it definitely feels pretty premium, and for the price tag of nearly $50,000, which is kind of crazy to see a Rogue at almost 50 grand. You know, they had done a really cool job giving you the cool interior, all the materials, the soft touches, the wood type design. New screen definitely is a nice update, of course, with the full screen navigation and everything. The touch screen, this is the way it should be. So this is really nicely integrated. I think they did a good job, and I'm really liking this new screen versus the old one that we had on previous generations. Same thing with the nav in the center there. And then we are just in the normal drive mode. We'll get off the exit and go into sport mode. And then we can shift manually, even though we do have a CVT. But we can still take a manual control, which is kind of a fun way to spice up the drive with the Nissan Rogue. You got the turbo engine, so you know you got decent power. It's not the fastest thing out there, obviously, but it is a nice touch to have something like that. So from a slow speed, getting up and going. Yeah, it's definitely not fast. You still get up to about 50 without really stressing too much. You're certainly going to be redlining the engine, so you're going to use all of what this motor has to offer. And then if we just tone it back into eco and everything, normal driving around cities, around town, you know, under 50, I mean, definitely a lot quieter, a lot smoother and everything like that. So not a bad daily driver. We've had a couple of these Nissan Rogues as press cars to test out, and I think overall it's actually a pretty nice car. And I think this update with the screen really makes this feel modern. Of course, you have all the nice tech and everything in it, and then with the softer touch materials, you know, like I said, it feels like a pretty good interior. So definitely not a bad way to go if you're looking for something that is roomy, spacious, and overall nice. I think maybe the only complaint, the engine isn't that powerful. It's peppy enough around town, but high-speed lane changes, if you really need to floor it to get moving, you know, you can only do so much with 200 horsepower in a crossover. But nonetheless, it's quicker than others, so it's kind of right in the middle, I would say. And then for some of the handling, as we take some turns, it feels pretty confident. The steering, you know, it's got a good enough feedback. It's not too heavy, not too light. And then the brake feel, as we slow down a little bit, has a good feel. It bites nicely. Good power just to get out of the turn like that, going half throttle. And then from the engine, has a nice little grunt to it. So it's not like a noisy little engine. It has, you know, a nice sound to it overall. And then being all-wheel drive with some of those off-road settings, this is something that you could confidently take up a gravel road, a little trailhead or something, maybe if you're gonna go on a camping trip or some sort of weekend adventure. This seems like a pretty well-rounded crossover to where city driving's nice, you know, you got the tech on the highway to be cruising nice and comfortably, and then when you are going off the beaten path on a weekend or some sort of fun trip, you know, this is gonna have the confidence to get you places, and you have the storage to bring stuff with you, and definitely comfortable for 2 people in the front, stuff in the back, or even the kids in the back, car seats, things like that.